right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're honored to have you. This is a record-breaking workshop today, so this is going to be an exciting day. Today is really all about mastering Navitor.com with tips, tricks, and hacks. My goal, my number one goal here for you today is to give you the tools that gets you the best pricing for shipping products, really anything on Navitor.com. So we're going to help you get there. From the results of the poll, it really looks like the majority of you are pretty much super users online for 100% of the time you're ordering online and 75% of the time of our biggest buckets there. So lots of ordering online, but there are definitely folks here who are kind of new and maybe they're just not kind of figuring out what products that they can go online for. So we're here to make this as easy as possible, as smooth as possible to get you those tools. So the part that I want to just emphasize as we talk today, and we're going to emphasize this a couple of times, but your fastest and best way to the best pricing, I'm going to give you this nugget right here in the beginning, is that the same product ordered through email or phone with Navitor will be up to $15 more. And unless you order online. So ordering online, in other words, is going to save you about $15 per order. That's a big tip because it takes so much extra effort to process those orders when they come via email and phone. There's lots of orders that are custom that you can't order online, but we do have 8,000 products online that you can. So that's a big tip. And we're going to kind of go through a little bit more detail around that. Today is 100% dedicated to getting you high quality tools and pricing through Navitor.com. And yes, we are recording this today. And yes, we'll send this out later on today. You'll get this afternoon so that you can share with your teams. So hi, my name is Stephanie Drago. I have been in this industry for 12 years and working e-commerce and marketing for over 20. And next up is Sadie Whiting. She has been in this industry for 20 years. She is our resident labels guru and really knows everything sticky.
There you
She
go.
also is known for her amazing muffins that she literally drives to customers' offices. So welcome, Sadie.
Hey, thank you. I could use a muffin right about now. Would that be
I know.
fun? All of us could just eat a muffin right on screen. But thank you. It's so good to be here. I always try to look for a fun little pun to throw in there somewhere. So I guess I'll say stick with us today. This is going to be great. So good to be here. I enjoy it.
Thank you, Sadie. And next up, we have David Valentite. And David has been in the print and promo industry for 10 years. And over the course of the past 3 years, then David has given thousands, literally thousands of helpful demos with customers and their teams. So when it comes to Navitor.com, David's really your whiz. So welcome, David.
Hi, folks. Good morning, and I'm glad to be here. I'm one of the onboarding specialists here at Navitor. And just to break the ice, fun fact about me is that I'm not really used to speaking in a large crowd, as I'm more into one-on-one conversation with my partners. But I'm excited to be here and to share some tips and tricks to make your Navitor.com experience easy.
Well, thanks, David. It takes a little bravery to do this. I agree.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dave. All right. So 96% of our web shop attendees, just like you guys, are reporting that webinars make an impact on their business. So the best advice that I would like to start with is to shut down your cell phone. Don't just turn it over and put it next to you. Put it away from you, take it to a different room, but shut down those distractions. Use the chat today. We're going to be monitoring that and answering that as we go. We'll also bring those questions back to the Q&A so that others can kind of understand those and you can ask follow-up questions as well. So that's going to be an important part at the end of our webinar here today. When I first started at Navitor a couple of years ago, a customer once told me that the website operated sort of like their assistant. That was their analogy. And she went on to describe that it operated like an office assistant, so helping with billing or account management kinds of tools. A marketing assistant who then helps you with the flyers and samples that you might need. And then last, a design assistant, getting you the right templates and making sure that production goes smoothly. So all three of those roles have really been important as we've built up the site with some pretty major changes that you guys have all been experiencing, especially in the last 6 months. We've put a lot of emphasis on the website. We've updated the homepage in a major way. This brought up all our biggest product lines to the top, making them easier to find. It's easier to find your membership benefits, your marketing tools, your templates, all of that kind of stuff. It's really been better organized so that you can find what you need with less clicks. And it has been making a difference. We've interviewed over 500 of resellers just like yourselves, and the results have really been impressive. So we've made a lot of improvements, but we will continue to do those. And you guys probably here today have a lot of ideas for us as well. We've definitely got some room to grow, and I'm excited to be able to share some of that with you too. So first up today, I'm going to pass it over to Sadie to go through the billing and tools section first. So over to you, Sadie.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. So yeah, let's dive into the billing and tools. Before we do though, I want to mention, if you're part of that group today listening that you've never maybe used Navitor.com, or maybe you haven't in a long time. So let's say if you've never ever logged in, all you have to do is simply go to new account. You go to Navitor.com and click on the new account spot at the top right there. It's going to be a really easy walkthrough to get you set up. If you have, but maybe you're like me and you've got like 1,000 passwords and you can't remember what your password is for Navitor.com, there's a login button. You click that, you can click forgot password, or there's also a chat right on the site that we can also help you one-on-one with getting in. So just wanted to encourage you to use that because, like Stephanie said, online is a big thing right now. And the beauty of Navitor.com, one of the many beauties of it, is it's 24/7. So you can go on there, you can shop in your PJs, as they always say. So that's a great place to remember. It's not only the money that you could save using Navitor.com, but also it's just accessible at all hours as well. So, all right, let's dive in here. So one thing I want to show you, just some little tips and things along the way as far as when it comes to billings and tools that you may not know already exist out there. So first I want to take you to my account and then to where it says manage users. So many of you may have multiple people on your team and you want everybody to be able to use Navitor.com, but maybe just different roles, different things that you really want people to be able to do on there. So I wanted to let you know that there is a way for you to set that up. So under role, there's two different choices. One is a channel partner, the other is a channel employee. And so you're like, what's the difference, right? So the first thing is if you choose someone as a partner, if you set them up as a partner, that's going to really give them all access to everything. It's going to allow them to make changes, to add other users as well. They can release orders, which we'll talk more about in a second. And then they can even view invoices, pay invoices, pretty much all access. So that's kind of the best way to summarize that role. But maybe you have someone that doesn't really need to do all those extra things. They really just want more of a limited access, such as downloading tools. You want them to be able to browse through the different pricing that's in there. You want them to be able to place orders, but maybe not approve them, things along that line. That's someone you're going to want to put in the employee role. So those just two things there. So if someone that wants all access, you're going to give them the partner. If it's someone that you want more limited access, but still a lot of great functions, then you go with the employee. And I mentioned releasing orders. So I want to show another little spot on here that some may not know is there. Under my account again, if you go on down to the bottom on the left, you're going to see where it says auto release settings. So what this is about is if you want to choose, you have two choices when it comes to how your orders are going to come through to Navitor. The first is if you click auto release, it's going to go right to production. So if someone's on Navitor.com logged in from your company, they place an order, it's going to go right through to us. No approval, no hesitance, just right through. The other thing is let's say you say, no, I'd kind of prefer to look at them. I want to be able to really give my final okay on it before I let it go to production and to press. Then you want to pick the second choice, which is order requires approval. So what's going to happen then is if you have that choice chosen, then when that actually order gets placed, it'll send you an email that's going to then ask you to approve it. So you'll just simply log on and approve it. And at that point, it'll go through to production. So kind of just a little safety net, if you feel more comfortable looking those over before they go to press. Another neat thing you can do here is it's looking at invoices. So my accounts view and pay invoices. So you may not know that you could do this here. When you click on this, it's going to literally pull up any of the history that's under there. That's going to include open invoices, credits as well. And it is going to take just a little bit. They always say, good things take some time. So as you click on that, it'll take a little bit because it is pulling up all of that history. Now we're always, like Stephanie said, we're always working to improve. So we are working on the speed of this page, but look at how quick that already pulled up. So when you're in here, it's going to show you all of those invoices and past projects. So one neat thing to know is if there's a checkbox along the left side, that's telling you those are open invoices. You can simply click on that, then go ahead to the next step, which is to submit the payment. And here's where you can even put in a credit card and just a lot what you're very familiar with when it comes to online payments. Another thing is too, if you have questions, there is contact information handy right here for our accounts receivable team. And so they can help you with any questions that you might have regarding those orders or invoices that you're seeing. One other tip I want to share that you're not going to see necessarily on here, but it's just a great thing to know, is about sales tax exemptions. So there's not really a specific spot on the website to enter or request sales tax exemption, but it's so simple. If you're on the call today with us, listening to this live, and you have never set this up, go into the chat, send us your email address. We'll connect with you and get you all the necessary forms to get that taken care of. If you are not listening to this live, maybe you're going back and watching it after the fact and listening to the recording, you can simply email ar@navitor.com and then tell them you'd like help getting the sales tax exemption set up, and they'll help with that as well. Really simple. The other section I want to show, so we all love saving money, right? We love good deals and coupons and specials. So under the My Account page, you're going to find a coupon section. You may not have known that was there. So what I encourage you to do is really check through that on a regular basis. This is something that it's always changing. And even as you browse through navitor.com, at times you're going to see specials that just pop up randomly. It's really fun and exciting really to know, oh my goodness, look, there's 10% off today, or there's a discount on shipping today, all these different things. And so under coupons, you can see a great list of that. Now these do change. It's sometimes it might be your lucky day and you're one of the specific customers that we're running some specials for. So don't forget to check in there on a regular basis. And also sometimes we run them based on regions, or maybe we run specials on certain products alone. So make sure you're in there and checking that out along the way. Another place, and I always joke that you're going to hear me say this probably several times. This is one of my favorites. That's where I always say one of my favorite spots, tools and resources. Now, if you have ever been to the tools and resources page on navitor.com before, don't tune me out because you think, oh, I've already been there, I've already seen this. This is all newly updated and newly organized and really fresh and great. So if you've been there before, go back and check it out. You're going to see some new things there that you're not going to want to miss out on. Kind of a little interesting fact, we actually have over 143,000 views of this page on an annual basis. So that shows you just how much great stuff is there. It's just tons of people visit this spot. So make sure you do that. So how do you get here? There is a tool spot at the top toolbar, or a tools and resources along the bottom of the website as well will take you there. And what are you going to find here? There are unbranded marketing pieces. Really just, as Stephanie said, when we're talking about the different roles that Navitor can really help with on navitor.com, really this is like a sales assistant, essentially.
Mhm.
So you have unbranded marketing pieces here. You can go into specific product catalogs in this area. One of my favorites, there I go again, industry. I love the industry booklets because I know you're busy. You've got lots of things you're selling, lots of roles you're filling, lots of things going on. The industry booklets are just an awesome tool to be able to click on for a specific market, and it's going to bring up all kinds of ideas specific to that vertical. So if you're with a client in that market, it's just takes really all the brain work out of having to brainstorm ideas yourself. It gives you all of that right there on the website. So that's under industry booklets. Then also back on the tools page, there's actually an area for print and design help as well on the right side there. So if you have a graphic designer, or maybe you are the graphic designer, or maybe you're fulfilling that role, all of that helpful stuff is right there for you under that area. Also, we did talk about the fact that this webinar is going to be recorded. And so it will be stored right on the bottom left there with some of our other past webinars. So if you've not been able to catch everyone live, you can go back and view those. Or if you're like, oh my goodness, this is so much information today, I can't catch all this, I can't write fast enough, I won't remember this. That's a great place to go back and really just re-listen to these as you'd like at your convenience. So another thing you can do here, I know we've been talking about a lot of tools online and digital tools. There's even a spot to request physical samples. So if you love to touch and feel or take physical samples to your clients, you can request those there as well. And then something else I want to share with you is called the content calendar. You'll find it right there under the tools section. So this is not your typical calendar. Don't say, oh, I already have a calendar, we're good. This content calendar is so much more than that. It's actually a sales assistant that plans ahead for you. So we all love that, right? Planning ahead without a lot of effort. So when you're in here, you're going to see things like what you see on the bottom right there, where it's saying, hey, here's some dates and here's some tasks and things you can do, some features, ways you can plan ahead to do some marketing with your customers. There are great videos out here you'll want to check out. As you're looking at these videos, They really highlight specific products and just a great fresh way to share those with your customers. And there's even in this area, there's downloadable tools and resources that you can use for your social media pages. So I'd really encourage you, go out there. It's all free and all so simple to use. So you just can download it and put it right on your social media page, pull it up with your customers, e-blast it out, however works best for you. So that's a content calendar. It's very, very helpful. And then one of the last things I want to show you is if you've never been signed up for the weekly newsletter, you can do this at navitor.com. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a stay connected area right there for the insider. If you just simply put your email address in there and hit submit, it's going to sign you up for our weekly newsletter. So it's going to be a newsletter coming to you with fresh ideas, tools, and reminders and resources, just all kinds of great information you don't want to miss out on that. And so just make sure that you really check into this. Now, I could sit here on this page forever and talk about things that are on this My Account page and the tools and the resources. There's so much more on navitor.com. Of course, we can't touch everything today, but just know, go out there and check things out. There's so many additional features and great things you can do there as well. But that's a very quick summary of billing and tools, much more there even than that, but check that out. I do want to let someone else have a turn here. I guess I don't want to take all the time, but pass it off to David, because I think now that you've seen the billing and tools, it'd be great to look at what's the nuts and bolts of the ordering and some of the neat things that Navitor can help with there. So I'll pass this off to you, David.
Thanks, Sadie. So before I start, we are all familiar with Amazon, are we? But then our online price calculator should be familiar with everybody. I'd like to start by saying that this tool is just hard to miss, as it's always there. Every time you log into your Navitor account, whether you're on your My Account page or you're checking out the product. Now, like any price calculator, this is a very powerful tool, as you can do so much more, and I'll run through every single bit in a minute. Now, we've managed to make this as simple as possible, whether it's your first time using it or you're a seasoned user. I always love working with business cards, so that's my personal stuff, my pet peeve per se. So let's try to price that, shall we? Now that we've chosen the product, next option would be choosing the specs. Most of the folks that I've worked with tend to use full color, as it's really nice, it's vibrant, it's lovely. So choosing the specs is gonna be easier than this. So first is, say you go flat, or you choose if you wanted the flat printing or raised printing, square corners or round corners. Most common option, by the way, for business cards would be square corners and horizontal orientation. You could either go one-sided printing or two-sided. The kind of paper that you wanted to use, the stock. Most popular stock that we offer is white 14-point C2S, but if your customer intends to write on it, maybe like a personal note, something to say thank you on a personal basis, a handwritten note, then we would suggest go with uncoated stock. If you want to be fancy, we also have branded ones like Classic Press and Classic Linens. Lastly, we have to choose the quantity. Now, quantity-wise, we've listed multiple ones based on the most common quantity that's being ordered. And to what Sadie mentioned earlier, sometimes you'll see a surprise promo and it will be listed on this calculator itself. While you're on it, don't forget to scroll down at the bottom to get the shipping estimates. We offer the most common ones like the ground shipping with UPS or FedEx, but if you needed them faster, there's also expedited shipping. That's always an option. You also have an option to drop ship the order directly to your customer. We only charge $2.50 drop shipping fee for the convenience. Stephanie will discuss this further on our next topic. Now, I'd like to also point out that 1,500 quotes are generated using this tool alone. With that in mind, a lot of our partners are using this tool, and we're seeing more people using it day by day. Now that we know how to get pricing, how do you send specs and price that to your customer? We can easily go back to our online price calculator for that. Once you price the standard products, product specifications is at the right side. It gives you the list of the product specs that you chose, which you can easily take a screenshot or to send to your customer, or taking a screenshot of it and saving it as a job for the next day. Or simplest thing to do is to just copy it. This saves you some headache in rewriting every specs, as it gives you an opportunity to edit the words and make it easier for your customer before sending it. Now, one of the features that I use to daily is to toggle between wholesale price and our list price, our suggested retail price. How do we do that? Now we can go back to my account or just simply close our price calculator, go to the almost to the very bottom part, and you'll see that settings just right above auto release settings. And whatever option you choose, whether it's a wholesale price, which is the default, or to show the list price, our online price calculator automatically updates. Don't forget to change it back to wholesale just in any case that you chose the list price. Now, question is, why do you need to toggle between both prices? We've all thought of retaining that feature as we always think of our members' convenience. With this settings, you can easily get your wholesale price and an instant resale price to your customers rather than doing the math manually. Good thing is, our suggested retail price gives you 30 to 60% profit margin depending on the product. So it's a win-win for everybody. Saves you hassle and you still get a high profit margin, right? Now, just wanted to remind, let me pause for a bit and remind everybody that this session is recorded. So in case you missed something, you can always go back and watch it again at a later date. Now, before moving to requesting quote for custom products, I'd like to point out that our price calculator can give us price on standard products, but we have 8,000 different products. So there's really a lot of products and options to choose from. But what if you don't see what you need? Most common example is getting a unique quantity. Some of my customers, just to share, just simply add standard quantities twice. For example, if they want 3,000 pieces of business card, they simply add 2,000 pieces and add 1,000. Now, we as a trade printer, we do many custom projects daily, and we make it convenient for our members requesting that. And one way is to fill out our custom estimating form, and there are two ways to do that. One is at the top of our online price calculator. Second thing is on your account page, right beneath the orange box that says go, you should be able to see the same exact thing, request a custom estimate. Once you click that, it will take you to our custom quote form, and you just need to fill it out. Once submitted, that will go directly to our estimating team for them to work on. Another option is to simply send us the specs, and we'll take care of that for you. In my experience, custom estimates are sent back within 4 hours only. We normally get high customized projects, and sometimes it takes a bit longer, but what I can assure you is we make sure to give you the best deal possible, best price possible, based on the specs that you're looking for. Now, lastly, before we move back with Stephanie, I'd like to share top products that my clients or partners are ordering online, and those are envelopes, business cards, folders, postcards, flyers, and labels. They can be printed either full color, 1 color, 2 color, or even foil stamp. And those products are at the top for multiple reasons. One is it's really an easy sale for you guys, high profit margin, and high demand. So I guess that concludes my topic here. And my time is up. So I hope you learned new stuff to me today. And back on to you, Stephanie.
All right, sounds good. David, that was great. Thank you. I think all that pricing, I'm trying to keep up with the questions in the chat there, but lots of questions coming in about some of the pricing and how it works and all sorts of good stuff. So thank you. I think you covered it really well. All right. So every year we do these massive initiatives around member surveys and different interviews. So we interviewed over 500 members, and then we assign committees to tackle some of the ideas and the challenges that are presented. And so this year, it's all about shipping. That was the #1 component coming in with ideas and suggestions from folks like yourselves. So I know I can't change the rate of the carriers. I can't prevent potential strikes. There's a lot going on in the world right around there, but I do have 3 hacks that you'll appreciate. They're not going to answer everything for you. And I can say that we're working on this. Multiple folks in the chat were talking about shipping and giving very specific scenarios and competitive prices. And we're looking at all of that. It's all on the table, trying to figure out how do we manage the different pricing structures for you around shipping specifically. So the first hack that I'll go through is just the basics. How do you get the best rates for shipping when you're ordering on Navitor.com or if you're ordering through email or phone? So number one, this is really already done for you, but one of the things that we do is that every order is shipping from the facility closest to where you're sending it to. We have 6 facilities across the country from Pennsylvania to Hawaii, and we will always ship from the facility closest to you that has your stock and your product. The map here then shows you general product categories for each of those facilities. So if you're curious and just kind of generally want to know where is this going to ship from, I've got some, good sense to give you the direction there. If you are looking for something like maybe you have a rush order, something like that, and you really need to know what facility it's coming from because it's going to make a difference in how fast that gets to you, you can call us or email us to get the specific facility for your order. Okay, so we can definitely do that for you. The best rates also come into play if you skip the extras. So that could be blind shipping, drop shipping. Those different kinds of components do add extra fees to the cost. They add extra fees, but they also lead us to the number 2 hack is know your shipper fees. So some distributors prefer drop shipping and blind shipping because that's exactly what they need for their customer. You want to present your brand out there. But if you look at that, they all kind of stack on together, and maybe sometimes you don't need to do those. That's a way to save on some costs. The fees are there to cover the cost of returns and ancillary charges that we get from the carriers there, but it could be a really good way for you to save some dollars, if you don't need to do those methods. If you're looking for really kind of just how to please your customer and how to keep your brand in front of them, I think that's really, the best advice that we can give there. The third hack then is using your shipper number. And several of you in the chat were actually already talking about this. So it depends on your volumes or your client's volumes, because you could use their shipper number as well. And there's 2 ways to get a shipper number assigned to your account. So the first way is assigning it to your whole account. So every order that goes through your account then is going to go under that shipper number. Okay, so you could do that in time periods too. Like maybe if you're Q4, you have one large customer that you're doing a lot of orders for, and then you can ask us to turn it off come January. So you can kind of play with that. We can turn it on and off for you, but it does work as more of a permanent setting on your account, again, that can turn it on and off. Number 2, you can activate a third-party shipper number on a specific order. And although today we're really talking a lot about online ordering, if you actually want to do this mechanism, you have to do it via email or phone. Let us know that at the time you submit your order so that we can get the right third-party shipper number on there for you. Okay. I'm going to drop a poll here and make sure that you guys can kind of see what we've got here for shipping and just get some of your sense there. All right, so I'll have that going on, but we are actively making updates to our business programs, the site. We really appreciate your feedback. So I will catch up on the chats here in a second as we move into Q&A. When we get this survey at the end of the webinar here today, I wanted to just let you guys know you can drop some suggestions in that survey as well of what you'd like to see on the site or for different shipping programs. Okay. All right. So let's go into the Q&A section. So you guys have been asking questions. I've been keeping track of them. So I know I'm a little bit behind now. So there's a lot that came through. I will go back and grab those. But the ones I was going to start with is around kind of knowing your logins. And so what is the login? If you've lost yours, kind of how do you work through that? Sadie, would you be able to do that one?
Yep. So if you completely just lost your login, probably the easiest way is just to reach out to us one-on-one and we can help get that back for you. And if you say, oh, I just forgot my password, as we mentioned earlier, the quickest way there is just to do the login and forgot password. So either way, our team can help. We're here one-on-one to help you. And there's a chat feature on the Navitor page as well, or just simply email or call us, really whatever works best for you. But yes, we can definitely take care to getting you back in there. If it's been a while since you logged in.
Okay. All right. Thank you there for Sadie for that one. All right. So then we've got another question is just around so we said in the beginning, it was it can be up to $15 price difference between ordering online and manual orders. So can we just explain a little bit of that difference? David, would you be able to hit that one?
Yeah. So we do charge $15, almost $15 more on any of our manual orders. The reason being is that online orders are a bit cheaper just because it bypasses a lot of folks, a lot of teams per se. So it bypasses our billing team, our prep team. So that's a cost saving in your part in placing the order online.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I think we got that one covered. The next one is, do you have a sample pack of, they're asking about business cards. I'll kind of generalize it to stocks with different papers to show our clients. So I can answer this one. We do have a swatch book out there. So if you guys want to put your, in the survey that you get after the webinar here today, just mark down that you're interested in getting a swatch book and we'll get that sent out to you. We do have a new one coming up here next month, maybe early September, that we'll have a new branded or unbranded swatch book for you so that you can use that with your clients or just use it for yourself as your tool.
And Stephanie, I'll put a plug in here for as well.
Yeah.
On the label side of things, which is of course my go-to every day. I'm working on the label side of things, but there, to tie in with what Stephanie just mentioned, there are all kinds of physical sample kits. We have a swatch book for labels specifically as well. So if you're interested in that, feel free to put that in the chat or email us if you're listening to this at the recording part. And then even we have things like vertical market kits specific to specific industries only, or even if it's more general use, like say I want to see a water bottle label, or I want to see a business card label, or a tech decal, which is huge right now. All of those kinds of things, we have samples specific to those as well. So to answer the question, yes to all the above. We have everything there.
That's a good point. Thank you, Sadie. And Mac is actually asking a follow-up question. There's a new swatch book coming out. Do I need a new one? Because my current one won't be accurate. The current one is fine. It might, we've kind of consolidated it down this time. So you might actually have more stocks in your old one, or you might, it's not that you might, you will have more stocks in your old one. The new one, yeah, I would recommend you get it. When that one comes out, then you have the freshest stocks, the most accurate descriptions and changes that have come into play. We bring in new stocks all the time. And so I think it'll be a useful tool. I wouldn't throw away your old one though. Some folks really like to see all the variety that's there. So all the tools will be still useful.
Yep.
Okay. Agree. Okay. All right. Julie is having some questions around the coupons. And so let's kind of address some of those. So are coupons available to end customers? And how can they be used to promote on social media? I don't know, Sadie, if you want to take this one, otherwise I can take this one.
We can tag team it. How about that?
Sure. Go for it.
So yes, when you're on Navitor.com, obviously those coupons will be something you can view. And then whether you choose to pass that on to your customer as the end user is completely up to you. You know, let's say it's a 20% off. If you want to then pass that 20% off to them as well, you can. As far as sharing it on social media, I believe there's graphics out there that you could use from ours. You won't be able to like link the coupon to the social media necessarily, but it is something that it gives you that, hey, this is out there and on sale right now. This is the expiration date. So it gives you that time frame of how long you can offer that. So then you, in turn, if you choose to pass it on to your customers, can go out to your social media and say, hey, I'm running this special right now of 20% off business cards or whatever that particular special is. But Stephanie, anything else you have to add to that? That's kind of just high level answer to that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. And as far as use on social media, you're welcome to grab our graphics anytime, like all of our social media graphics, all of the materials on Navitor.com, for example, you guys can download, use as your own. You can mark them up. I see this all the time where they change the colors, add their logo, all that stuff. So you're welcome to do that. And then you can use that and basically pass that forward to your customer. But really the coupon codes are for your ordering on Navitor.com. So just to emphasize what Sadie was saying there.
Yeah.
So
and I've seen people too, Stephanie, use them even in their stores. Like if you have a walk-up store or a counter, where you can just post some specials for customers that maybe they didn't come in for a folder or a business card or a label, but they see, oh, wow, you've got a special going right now. So it kind of just triggers like, oh, maybe I should look into that a little bit and ask about that. So you can even use those just in person as well. So really there's several ways you can use those coupons.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, perfect. And then folks are also asking again about that swatch book. So if you want a copy of the swatch book, just put it in the survey at the end of this webinar and put your name and address and that you want the swatch book, and I'll get you on a list. And then when it's out, you'll be the first to get one.
Definitely.
Okay. Oh my gosh, we have so many questions coming in. Okay, so this is good. There's some questions around design services. So let me I think I have a couple of these. Let me quick find them. So I use your website, but I always need help with sizing and artwork. How does Navitor assist in this aspect? David, maybe you want to talk about like the templates that we have, but then also we do have art services to actually make the art work for you, resize it, whatever it might be. So David, could you touch on those two areas?
Sure, sure. So as a rule of thumb, we normally ask our partners to send us a print-ready file of us being the templates being available to be downloaded for free on our website. But if, for instance, you don't have a graphic designer, you don't design them themselves, then we do have an in-house design team, our prep team that can help us out with, for that. Whether you just wanted to do a simple resizing or just move things around a bit, or if you want us to start from the scratch, that is available as well as an option. And that's what we call a nav design service. And correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie, how long have we launched that? I think it was just
Couple years.
second quarter.
Yeah,
Couple years
or
ago?
year and a half. Yeah, I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. Well, we've always had services out there, but we started, instead of just fixing the artwork, we said, okay, we'll actually do your artwork for you. So I can get a link for that one in the chat there. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, other questions that I'm getting. Hold on, I'm trying to get an answer for that. Okay,
I see
so
Stephanie too, someone just asked, kind of tagging on what we were just talking about. Someone just
pricing.
asked what the pricing was for the design services. I would assume that it actually depends on what the need is, if that's correct. I believe we just have to look at them as a case by case and see how much time is involved and how intricate they are to decide what that charge would look like. But it's definitely worth just reaching out to the team and get that answer for you.
Right,
Sure.
good point. So nav design, let me just type this into the chat so you guys have a link here. Nav design. Here you go. So there's a link to it. If you go to the tools page and then down on the right side, there's nav design, and that's what David was sharing in more detail. So there's two sides of it. The first side, like David said, is like a retouch. So you really already have your artwork. Maybe it needs to be resized, or I don't know, maybe it's coming in the wrong format and you need to change it somehow, or, the foil isn't quite right. And so you got to get that layer corrected. So stuff like that. It's typically around $25 and it's a fixed rate to make that work. And if you go to that page, it'll give you a little bit more information, but then it'll also give you the submission form too. So we'll help you with that. And then the other side of it is the custom design. And that is much more like a design agency kind of a thing. And so what folks do there is then they're talking with someone, they're going over, hey, I don't just want to do a business card. I want to do a business identity set. This customer is maybe rebranding, needs a new logo. And then we work much more like an agency. And you can decide, are you working directly with the customer? Do you want us to be customer facing? We'll work any way you want, but essentially we are there to support a full design. And so that is, like Sadie said, then much more custom. You would agree on the price up front. And we have programs there going from like $500 and sort of simple rebrands to thousands of dollars where they're really looking for the full rebrand ensemble. So you would know that in advance, you'd be able to set that up and organize that with your end customer. Okay. So lots of good services there. There's been some questions on modifying free artwork that Navitor gives. Can you modify it? Absolutely. Yep. We give you you can download the PDFs. You can take images that we give you. We have social media kits out there. Take them, make them your own. Yep, that's fine. So yep, go for that.
And just to share, Stephanie,
Go ahead.
one of my bigger client or partner actually used all our pictures. I wouldn't say all, but most of the pictures in her site is coming from us. So it is really possible to download some of our pictures and use it as your own. So it's unbranded.
Yeah, there's a lot of flyers, like we were talking in the tool section. There's a lot of not just images on their own, but there's fully put together flyers that you can take and say, just add your logo to or specific contact information and really just have a great tool really quickly without even having to do anything other than adding your own branding to it. So, I mean, there's all kinds of tools, from whether you want just a simple image or you want a whole entire digital flyer that you could share with clients or print out and have in person too, or however they prefer that. So.
Okay. And then Jessica is asking, where is all of this on your site? So if you go to tools, on the top navigation, and then there's everything is right there for you. The content calendar is a big source for links and artwork and all sorts of materials. Oh, thanks, Katie. She's already there on the screen, kind of showing you guys some of that. So tons of materials out there. If Katie, could you just go to one of the booklets or flyers? Because you can get these and we put them on an unbranded URL. So each of these pages, see how it says printcatalog.net? That's unbranded. It doesn't say anything about Navitor. You can use this. Your customer will never know kind of where that's coming from. But you can also download. And Katie, if you want to just hit the button in the middle there, the little download arrow, that is where you can get the full PDF. So if you want to do that, I've seen people take these flyers and literally change colors out. I personally can't do that, not being a graphic designer. But you know, there are folks that can do that for you and can at least put your logo on the front cover, for example, or the back cover. There's always room for that. You could just add text, you know, your name and phone number if you wanted. Whatever you want to do and whatever resources you kind of have them. There's the preferred file. Oh, that's an art question. Can we modify them and do EDDM? You could, the flyers, I suppose you could modify that and just get it to the right size kind of, and then make that work. Yeah. Just grab them important elements that you'd want. So who's asking that one? Miguel. Yeah, you could make those work. You'd probably have to condense it down quite a bit, but yeah, totally would work on EDDM.
You know, Stephanie, one of my favorite things with those flip books that I've seen people do is so when you actually have, like she was talking, it's a non-branded URL. And so if you're on a specific page and you're wanting to send that exact page to your client, you can do what she said, you can download even just that one page, or you can just, while you're on there, you can take that URL, and because obviously it's specific to that page, when they click on it, it's going to flip it right open to the exact spot you were wanting to show your customer. So if you're saying, hey, I'm quoting this flyer for you, or this postcard, or whatever the case is, and then here's an example of it, you can send them that URL, and because it is specific to that page, it's going to open it right up. So it's a really professional way to really give them a nice presentation in just a second there. So it's great.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so other questions that we're getting are around the design studio and what kind of artwork we accept there. There's a couple of questions on there, so I'll stay on the design studio for a few minutes, but David, do you want to address kind of what file types that we accept there?
Most common one would be PDF, but I've seen some folks sending us JPEG file or even PNG files. The higher the quality, the better.
Okay. Yep, the higher the quality, it needs to at least be 300 DPI, right?
Yep, at least 300 DPI.
And if it's not, we'll tell you. We'll give you a little warning, and you can ignore us. But you know, usually we don't want to do that. You know, you want the best quality possible. So, okay. So that one is good. There's also some interesting questions around Design Studio. So this person was saying Design Studio is great. And it allows you to do larger multi-page documents, but it can, but when you start getting to 20 plus pages, it can feel inefficient or slow. It would be great to auto load all of those pages. So, I don't know. I think we can only just note that one for our developers, on the site speed. Is there any other reactions you two have to kind of multi-page documents?
I would agree with, we're always taking, as Stephanie mentioned, even at the survey, if you have suggestions, the team is constantly working on updating and revamping and improving the site. So that's definitely something we'll pass along as a great suggestion. David, I don't know if you have any other things to add to that.
No, that's about it. Yep.
Okay. And then there's a few more questions around print jobs and kind of grouping orders. So it would be good to cover group shipping. So if you're ordering more than one lot with the same specs to be printed together and then shipped together for cost efficiency. So we do that whether you're ordering multiple times in a single day, you know, they would be grouped together, or if you have multiple parts or large quantities, they would be grouped together. If you send in a custom order, and let's say you need 200 business cards to go to this location, 200 to go to that location, and kind of you have a lot of specificity there, we can accommodate for that too. trying to think if there's any other kind of ways that we're kind of grouping, David or Sadie. I know he's talking about labels or business cards, sorry, but labels, is there anything else you'd add about grouping?
Yeah, say about the same thing. Like you said, if it is a custom order that's more of even on the manual side, and you have, like you mentioned, the example you had of multiple drop ships, things like that, we can do that. Or we can even, if there's 5 labels on one purchase order and they all go to one spot, we'll definitely keep those together for shipping, and try and give you the best cost possible there. But
Yep.
For business cards, we do have multi-design tool that you can utilize. That way the order will be placed at once. So long as it ships to one address, it should ship together.
Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. Then we have another shipping question. Do you accept both FedEx and UPS account numbers? Yes, we do. So we ship both of those. We'll ship the best rate for you. But as far as using your own third-party shipper number or your client shipper number, you can use both. Anything else to add there, David or Sadie?
no, nothing to add. I agree 100%.
Okay. And just remember, there's 2 ways to do it, right? There's one that assigns your account sort of permanently, I'll just say. And then that is every order goes out under that shipper number. But then there's also, I only want to do this one order with this one
Right.
shipper number. And that one you have to just send through email, phone, and make sure that we know that information, and only one order then will assign to that shipper number. Okay, so we got that one too. Let's see. If I'm missing any, you guys can call me out. So there's some good questions around, are you going to be adding more items from your catalog to the online site so we can stop emailing orders in? And he had a specific example about a rounded corner badge. So what I will say is, yes, we are actively doing that, actively working so that the catalog and the online orders match. They don't right now, and for a variety of reasons, but we have 8,000 products online. So we do have quite a bit there, but yeah, there are some products that just don't match up. So we are working on that, and I'll check into the rounded corner badges specifically for you. Okay, let's see, what else did I miss here? There is someone in our chat, I think Sean was your name, was providing a transcript. So we will be providing a recording, and we'll be providing the materials and links that we've shared here today. YouTube does do a transcript as well, so you can kind of see that over there. But if you wanted a transcript, and Sean, our reseller friend in there below, he is offering that up. So Sean, put me on that list too, because I'm kind of curious to see what you're sending out. So they've got a few people saying that. Let's see. There's a question, if I work out of my home and I take advantage of not doing the drop shipping, so I skip those fees. So that's what she's asking. Or Max, sorry. That's what you're asking. Can I have them shipped to my home? Yes, we ship residential or commercial. In the back end, I know residential can be a little bit more expensive. So sometimes, you might see an increased cost there that could make a difference. I don't know if I have any other kind of thoughts on that question. David or Sadie, are you reading anything else there?
Yeah, I think, and what Mac was asking too is just about, is there a way to take advantage of not using the drop ship since Mac works out of their home?
Yeah.
Like you said, really just be careful with that because of the whole residential aspect of it. I have seen that, like you said, UPS costs can go up. So if you think about a drop ship fee, as minute as that is, really, you might actually save by sticking with the drop ship in that instance compared to going residential, because the residential can make that go up so much, just if that's where you're located. Another thing I have seen people do is if it's a local customer, they'll do face-to-face deliveries, things like that. But of course, it doesn't always work for everybody. So that's one thing that you could try. But otherwise, yeah, I would weigh out the kind of the pros and cons of it. If sticking with drop shipping, it's really convenient. It's going to go ship in your name. It's going to go right to your client. And even though you are paying that fee, it would possibly save you money compared to going to the residential address at your home. So really, it's kind of
that's true.
Look at both options, because it's really not much of a drop ship fee.
It's not.
2,050 cents really, and I've seen residential cost quite a bit more than that when you're comparing it to a commercial shipping address. So,
but if Mac's shipping to their residential and drop shipping, then they're getting the residential fee and the drop ship, right? So then they're kind of getting double hit. Okay, all right. So I understand that, and so then they're following up I thought if I did not let you ship to my company billing address, you charge me for a drop ship. No, you can ship wherever you want. Drop ship is actually a toggle. Katie, if you're able to get to the shipping area, we can kind of show you. When you go through the online pricing calculator for any of the products, at the bottom is actually a shipping component. You got to open it up and expand it. So sometimes I forget about this and I go right through the process. But if you open up and expand it, you can toggle it to yes, regular shipping, or I want to add 250 drop shipping, and you can change your address to anywhere you want. So we're not charging you if you ship to your non-default address, in other words. And so I'm sorry, Katie, to make you log in and go through the whole process, but I wanted you guys to just see this. At the bottom of this page is where you will select dropship or not. And that's how you can kind of avoid your fees or, have the value of the dropshipping. There it is. There it is. Thank you. Okay, so when she changes it to dropship, it's starting to change the features there that we ask you. So now we'll give the postal code, and then it'll give you a new set of shipping prices. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I got that one. Okay. Maggie's asking a really good question. Okay. So this one has come up before. So Maggie's question is, if I've ordered via email, I haven't seen any dropship charges on my invoices. Is that built into the product cost? No, it's not built into the product cost, but it's built into the shipping cost. And so whether you order online or whether you order through email, phone, anywhere, it's the same thing. And so yes, there's a $250 drop ship fee, but it's actually included in your shipping cost. So you never see it itemized. And I know a lot of folks would like to see it itemized so they can kind of understand, yes, I did it this time, but I didn't do it that time. But right now we give you a summary bill that just gives one shipping line. So that is something that our committees here, the shipping group is reviewing and trying to see if we can break those out for you. This isn't a great thing to offer, but if you wanted to know, we can always tell you. So if you just email us back and say, hey, what fees did I incur in this? We can tell you that. We can see it. It's just not coming through on your side. So we can absolutely do that, but it is built into the shipping price there directly. I feel like there's another drop shipping question. Oh, let me go back to this one. So this took me a little bit. I had to go to someone and we actually had to test this. So so the question is around third-party shipper numbers. And so the person said, we have all shipping billed to our UPS account. But when we get the order confirmation, it doesn't show us the estimated printing costs. And I was like, no, that's not right. That was my first reaction. So I went over to a couple of folks first and just to confirm, and you are correct. We do not give you an estimated shipping cost if we're using your shipper number. And the reason for that would be, I guess it does kind of make sense, is we wouldn't know your costs or how, your shipper numbers working in. There's not a feed based on your shipper number. It's still our feed for shipper costs. So I think the only way to kind of get a general understanding of what at least our charges would have been to you, I guess you could ask for that in the quote. I just wouldn't want to get it confused that, you want to get a pricing for our shipper number, but use your shipper number. So I don't want to get folks confused there, but we could do something like that. I don't know if I have any better advice though. That's an interesting question. Sadie or David, have you dealt with that one before?
I've had the same question as far as someone asking to estimate shipping.
Yeah.
But saying they're going to be using a third party, and just like you said, really, it's not accurate for us to estimate it because it'll be based on our account, and everybody has different rates and agreements with these shippers. So the best thing is, and sometimes people will say, hey, I just simply need the weight, and if I can have the estimated weight, I can work on my end with my account and figure out what that estimated shipping is going to be. So that's probably the closest thing, is we can provide you with estimated weights and then you can work from there. But yeah, it wouldn't be accurate really to give you our rates and then have the actual shipment go on the third party. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if ours would be better or worse. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of a good question there, but I know UPS and FedEx have different calculators for you to use too. So maybe that's the best way to get around that. And, folks on the phone, if we added it all up together, we've got hundreds of years of experience here. So if you guys are seeing something else, let's give our colleagues a shout out there for any recommendations you might have. There is a follow-up to some of the drop shipping questions. So is drop ship fee the fee to ship, to multiple clients, or is it charged per location? Or are you saying there's a drop ship fee to ship to one address? So let's clarify those fees. Every drop ship is based on address. So if I have a 2 packages going to 2 different addresses, it's 2 different drop ship fees. Okay, so that's how it's charged. Same with blind ship, it's the number of addresses.
Yep.
Okay, anything else to add there, guys?
Nope, you covered it.
Okay, all
Spot
right.
on.
That's okay. So I think I've got that. Sadie and David, are there any others that I missed that I should grab? I'm trying to catch them all.
Let's see. Someone was asking if there's a limit to the number of swatch book samples that they can request. They said they have a client who really likes to use those visuals and choosing their stocks. I know on the label side there isn't. I'm not sure on. I guess Stephanie and David, you guys can answer on the Navitor side.
Sure. So I was trying to get some other people to help me to just confirm my information. So we've got a light confirmation on this one. So while there's no limit, you can order as many as you want. We do offer the first for free on this, the swatch book, the paper swatch book. And then it's $5 after that. Now I have light confirmation, so not perfect confirmation there, but we think it's $5 each after your first one. And then, but I do sometimes little mini programs with folks. So like, you know, I had a gentleman who wanted to do swatch books to his customers as part of sort of the Christmas gift. And so he ordered, it was like 100 of them, I think it was. And so we did do a discount on that and just kind of, you know, worked with you on some volume pricing. That's unusual. We're not usually doing massive programs around swatch books, but you know, that is possible. So let us know if that's something you'd be interested in there. I think that was Paula answering that question. So, okay, so I think that's it.
Yes, Stephanie, first one is for free, $5 is for the succeeding ones.
Okay, thank you. Oh, so you have my confirmation. Okay, so then we're fully confirmed. Okay, thank you. I thought so. Perfect. Okay, so we got that one. Okay, so I think my last questions, so the last questions then that we had were around like shipping costs. Sometimes the costs can be higher than the cost, especially of a business card. And so there are a couple of examples that folks were giving. And so what I will say is that business cards are definitely being looked at. They're one of our most popular products, yet they are ones where the shipping cost is I don't know, disproportionate sometimes to the product costs. And so how can we work that out with you? So that is a top priority with the committees as well. One of the things that we're really working on is a pilot program to start in August with a portion of our accounts to try to see how, you know, buying behaviors might change if we do offer some of these programs. And unfortunately, my poll is just not going to work today. So if you would like to give us any advice, what we are looking to hear back from you is, how do you think about getting discounts on shipping based on order quantity? So maybe you spend $50 or $100. We see that with Amazon, right? So that would be one type of program. Or what if I spend X amount per year? Can I get a discount on shipping? And that might be a good program too. So if you have a vote one way or the other, just put it in the comments on the survey at the end or here in the chat, and I'll read all of those comments and bring that forward to our committees that are running these initiatives as well. We do see this as important to answer your challenge to us is how to make shipping more affordable, especially in some of our smaller products. Okay, so I think we've really covered the gamut here. This probably was another record-breaking number of questions that we got here today. So thank you all for your time today, your interest and your engagement. It's so much appreciated. Thank you to David and Sadie for your pro tips experiences. I really appreciate those here today. Folks, don't forget the survey. It'll come on as you sign off tonight. The last thing I'll just share with you is that we know that you're spread thin. So please visit navitor.com, sign up for all these free tools that you've seen today. Membership is free. Most of you here are going to be members, but you've got a lot of access to tools here today. We've recorded the session. You'll get a copy of that via email today. We here at Navitor, we innovate, you sell, and it's a win. And thank you again. It's been an honor to talk with you today.
Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful day. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.